It was 2 a.m. when I started this mission. And now the sun's about ready to wake up and shine, and the secret is out. The genuine taste of Camel at the end of the trail.
Hey there, Teddy Rubskin here, and yeah, today we're talking about Joe Camel, right? The mascot for Camel cigarettes, right? Now he's like a cartoon character that would show in print advertising for Camel. They'd be being like posters and billboards and magazine ads and stuff like that. Usually doing something cool like riding a motorcycle or hanging out on the beach, right? And, well, you usually see these ads in, like, Playboy magazine and other stuff like that. And, actually, he's kind of before my time, you know, because when I was aware of Camel Joe, the first time I actually heard about Camel Joe was when I heard about him getting banned. Yeah.
The concept that we have seen of this campaign was to create a character whose acts and deeds and conduct would be such that young people would want to emulate him.
Joe Camel will be given a life sentence and put away forever. Joe Camel will be given a life sentence and put away forever.
The bill gives the FDA the power to restrict cigarette ingredients it deems hazardous and would require new health warnings that cover half the packaging. It prohibits the use of misleading terms like light, mild, or low tar, and puts a stop to colorful ads that might appeal to kids.
Yeah, actually the government went after fucking Joe Camel and the tobacco industry as a whole because they thought that Joe Camel was being used to sell cigarettes to kids, right? Yeah, he's kind of like fucking Tony the Tiger selling Frosted Flakes to kids. But Joe Camel was selling cigarettes to kids, and oh my god, that's terrible. You know, so they got him removed from all fucking Camel's advertising and shit, you know? Which actually made all of that fucking Joe Camel merchandise worth a lot of money, you know? Like you got a Joe Camel fucking clock or a Joe Camel ashtray. And that's really where I started getting into it, you know? Because Joe Camel stuff was valuable. So I actually went out of my way to get my hands on stuff like a Camel ashtray, right? Or a Joe Camel poker chip set. Yeah, I actually have this metal tin that has a bunch of Joe Camel poker chips in it. Yeah, I think this is actually a really interesting collectible. Now, if you look at the illustration on the top there, it's actually showing Joe Camel's band, right? Because this is like a later thing that came out, like later in Joe Camel's life. He eventually started developing other fucking Camel characters, right? Other Camel people, like, well, he's got a band. I guess they're like a blues band or something, kind of like Huey Lewis and the Camels, right? But yeah, they're all sitting there playing poker together. And actually, Joe Camel's not even in this picture. All of the guys sitting at the table are members of his band. Other guys wearing sunglasses. Joe Camel is actually, it's from the perspective of Joe Camel, because you see Joe Camel's hands holding the cards, and it looks like he's got 5 aces. 4 legit and 1 wild card, so he's got 5 aces. He's going to win this hand. No problem, right? And if you actually look closer at the details, you could see that the other guys, look in the reflection of their sunglasses, you can see what kind of cards they got in their hands, right? Yeah. And there's other stuff there too, because if you look at Joe's wrist, he's actually wearing a Joe Camel watch. And another guy's wearing a Joe Camel watch. So some of the Joe Camel merchandise is actually featured in this illustration here, right? And they used to have like catalogs of Joe Camel merchandise, t-shirts, and jackets, and sunglasses, and all kinds of stuff that you could get featuring Joe Camel and the Camel branding. But the government cracked down on that shit, right? Because kids want fucking jackets and ashtrays and stuff. Any depiction of Joe Camel at all was banned.
No longer will we let our kids be recruited as the next generation of smokers. And we've done the right thing for our children and our grandchildren.
Yeah, they killed Joe Camel, right? It was a complicated thing. It was a bill that they kind of put tobacco under the fucking jurisdiction of the Food and Drug Association, basically. Because before that, it was part of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. But they thought that the FDA should have something to say about what goes in the cigarettes and how the cigarettes are sold. So once the FDA was in charge, they just banned Joe Camel altogether. And actually forced them to fucking start putting warning labels on every pack of cigarettes. Got them to stop using terms like low tar and light and other stuff like that. Yeah. Basically, it had a massive impact on the tobacco industry.
More than 1,000 public health and consumer groups pushed for this bill. Matt Myers of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids has been campaigning for the legislation for 12 years.
But the aftershocks of that fucking bill on the tobacco industry had some unforeseen side effects, which are kind of weird. And we're actually going to talk about in the next fucking video, right? Yeah. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Until then, fucking keep it real. Bonus video. Hey, you know back in the day that the Flintstones actually sold cigarettes? Yeah, Flintstones did their own fucking cigarette commercials. They sold Winston cigarettes, right? Which also happened to be R.J. Reynolds' brand. But, you know, that was back in the day when they used to be able to run cigarette commercials on television, you know. But I think it was like in the late 60s, early 70s, government cracked down on that. You can't fucking sell fucking cigarettes on TV. It's illegal. And so they had to stop. But in the 1990s, because of some legal mumbo jumbo, they actually got to put TV commercials on the air again. Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about in the next fucking video. We're going to be talking about the truth behind the truth. So, until then, fucking keep it real. Joe Camel!
Now, Richard, you know who Joe Camel is, don't you?
Joe?
He's the cartoon character that they use to sell cigarettes. And today, the government said they're going to go after R.J. Reynolds for unfair advertising because they view that Joe Camel apparently is a little too cute.
Yeah, I think it's seducing a bunch of kids into smoking cigarettes. And I think that the whole cigarette industry ought to be blown off the map. I mean, it's the most evil industry that's ever come down the pike. I mean, they kill...
So you're not a smoker?
No.
Okay. No. That was unclear, but...